Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Fuel for Thought, where we are reviewing the USA, the official USA Grand Prix, Austin, Texas.
Oh yeah. Sprint weekend.
Yeah, first one in a while.
Yep. And Max Verstappen won. He's won all sprint races this year.
His first win of anything for a long time now.
Yeah. But he has won
over 10 races, right?
Yeah, but he has won all sprint races this season. That means.
Yeah, but there hasn't been a sprint race since whenever the last sprint race was.
Yeah, I actually don't remember when the last sprint race was.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was.
The sprint race wasn't very eventful, was it?
No, Max got pole. He won. George Russell kind of went backwards.
Oh yeah, he started on second.
Yeah.
And then by the first corner, he was in fourth, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I think his tyres went quite quickly as well. And so did Lando's.
And Lando lost more points than he would have liked to Max in the sprint race.
Yeah.
Because Charles came second, right?
Yeah.
Did Lando came third?
Lando held on to third, yeah. He almost lost it to Carlos, though.
Carlos came fourth.
Yeah.
So, yeah, not great for Lando Norris.
I feel like sprint races a lot of the time just don't have much to them. There's not a lot.
They're either epic or they just spoil the race for Sunday.
Yeah.
And maybe didn't necessarily spoil it, but it did spoil the fact that Ferrari were quick.
Yeah. I think Ferrari were the quickest car this weekend.
Yeah, quite clearly.
Yeah. And obviously the sprint race showed that. But yeah.
Yeah.
Not much more to say about that.
Yeah.
Well, did you see Alex's in qualifying? Did you see Alex? I think it was qualifying or free practice. You see Alex's perfect spin. He spun out, but he carried on. It was a perfect spin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did anything happen further down the field in sprint?
I don't remember.
Is that memorable, huh?
Oscar Piastri, I can't really remember what happened with him either. I think he was kind of not really there this weekend. Just mediocre.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, so I guess we'll move on to the race.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Lando started on pole.
Far more eventful.
Definitely.
And we're back to old ways with Lando Norris. Can't keep it.
No.
In front when he's on pole.
It was a through goes Hamilton moment for Charles Leclerc.
Yeah.
Well, obviously Max and Lando were fighting each other and they just left the gap wide open for Charles.
I think it was more when reminiscent of when George Russell went round the outside. From third to go into first.
Yeah, okay, I see. Yeah, I see what you mean. But yeah, they left the door wide open for Charles to go from P4 to P1. He kind of held it for the whole race.
Yeah, the commentators were kind of saying Norris did the right thing, but he wasn't aggressive enough. He just kind of went halfway. It's I'll cover you off, but not all the way. And so it just kind of let Max come back at him, kind of push him off the track, bully him basically.
Yeah.
Into no room, and then open the door wide open for Charles. So
I feel like that happened a lot on that corner.
Yeah, it did.
I think George got a time penalty for that exact same thing.
Yeah, George got a penalty.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we'll come on to that.
Well, yeah, all right. But, yeah, Ferrari, excellent this weekend. I feel like their 1-2 finish has kind of been overshadowed a little bit. Let's put it this way. When I was watching the race, I didn't really think too much about them being in P1 and P2.
No, and they were saying, feel bad because if Harley even talks about him.
Yeah.
But that is because the two title contenders were in the third and fourth.
Yeah.
So, and it just felt like an uphill climb for Lando Norris, the whole race. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Didn't he end up in, fourth?
Yeah.
After the first lap?
Yeah.
Terrible start.
I know.
You can't be doing that.
Yeah, I think Max was in second. Carlos had taken Lando as well.
Yeah, can't be doing that in a title fight.
Nope. Yeah, I think obviously with Max and Lando, it kind of makes sense them fighting each other. And for Max, obviously he'll want to win the race, but it makes more sense for him to make sure that he finishes ahead of Lando rather than kind of compete making sure that he stays in the lead. So I'm sure he wasn't too mad about the fact that Charles overtook him as long as he was still in front of Lando.
No, he needs to finish ahead of Lando.
Exactly.
And that's who his battle is with.
Yeah.
But you can kind of see glimpses of the old Max Verstappen here now. And because Norris isn't someone that has been in front a whole lot, he's found himself in a position where he is being the victim of Max's aggressive tactics again, similar to how Hamilton was in 21.
Yeah.
You know, where he can push it to the limit, leave the driver with no room, and kind of risk going off the track himself. But I guess the rules are different this time around that kind of allow for that a little bit more, which again is a controversy in itself.
Yeah.
But, you know, Lando now needs to play the game.
He needs to be more aggressive, I think. Obviously, if he wants to win, how many races are left? 6?
Yeah.
He still can win, but he needs to, as you said, play Max's game, be more aggressive.
Yeah, this is the game Max is playing, where Max found out the hard way at Silverstone what happens when people don't back out. Mm-hmm. So I wonder what Lando's reaction to that's going to be. I obviously hope it's not going to be as extreme as that.
Yeah.
But what happens when someone just says, you're going to, push me off or crash? I pick crash.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, was it Austria where they both crashed into each other and Lando DNF'd? I think obviously Lando still has that in his brain. Like if he pushes Max too hard, he could be the victim rather than Max. I don't know.
That is true.
Yeah. I don't know.
But yeah, so Russell got a penalty for pushing Bottas off there. Mm-hmm. Which he was very surprised about.
Yeah.
What?
His radio reaction was great.
And then Toto's total joke of a penalty. Total joke.
Have you seen Toto's reaction to all the penalties?
No.
He's basically said it's biased. Well, he said to George on the radio it's biased, and he was speaking to Ted Kravitz about it. And he was trying not to say in so many words to him and put it out there on TV, on live TV, that he thinks that the stewards are biased, but he was implying it. Damn. And he said it's just interesting the correlation of who is getting penalties and who isn't for things that are basically the same thing.
Yeah.
But because obviously Max didn't get a penalty for, I know it was lap 1. I think it was lap 1 where he pushed Lando off.
Yeah, I think it's a little different lap 1.
Yeah, it is just different on lap 1. But yeah, he was basically implying that the stewards are biased.
Yeah, it's a difficult one, isn't it? Because Christian Horner is playing the game, the media game as well, and stirring stuff up, saying, our competitors are pointing fingers to hide what's going on in their own house, and it's that they all play this game. Oh yeah,
Christian's one of the worst ones for it.
Oh yeah, but,
definitely.
Toto does it as well.
Yeah,
to kind of just stir things up in the media. And I think it does sway the decisions by the FIA.
Yeah.
Slightly.
But that's just if it works for the team and it's not against the rules, then they're going to do it.
Oh, and you got Zach Brown saying that Red Bull should sign an affidavit to say that they didn't use their ride height device illegally.
Yeah, I heard about this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, surely they can monitor it.
Well, no, the whole point is that they had a ride height device that allowed them the opportunity to change settings in part firmly without the knowledge of the FIA if they wanted to. So the fact that loophole existed for them was the issue. Yeah,
but obviously now everyone knows about it. I'm assuming they probably won't.
Yeah, Red Bull had to demonstrate how they used it so that it was clear that they couldn't have done it while the car was assembled.
Okay.
Yeah.
And can they do it while the car is assembled?
Well, that's what they showed.
Right.
But they can't.
Interesting.
They have to take all the body work off and everything.
Okay. Okay. And Andrea Stella, obviously, as we were talking about Lando and Max, obviously their fight where Max kind of broke really late and Lando went off and overtook Max. And
yeah, I mean,
Andrea Stella basically, Ted Kravitz also spoke to Andrea Stella and said, did you not think about telling Lando to give the place back so Lando could overtake again? And Andrea was like, no, it's pretty clear cut to me what was going on. Otherwise we would have done that. And he seemed kind of annoyed by that conversation because he must have just been like, well, why are you slating the team when we literally thought that he was ahead and that, but...
Yeah. Well, yeah. And there's a couple of different sides to it that just like expose some glaring issues with the rules, I think. Because the Max was in the inside and ahead at the apex, even if he did dive bomb the apex and wasn't going to make the corner, which is true. The rules give him kind of the right to do what he did, and the fact that he went off a track. I think Anthony Davidson was saying on his analysis that would give him a warning, but because Lando then overtook him off the track and gained an advantage, that warrants a penalty.
Yeah, there's something wrong in the rules there.
So yeah, the fact that you have so many rights on the inside that you can just do a dive bomb, not keep it on the track, and avoid your opponent overtaking you or force them into a penalty is the glaring issue there.
Yeah.
And the other obviously issue is it allows Max to drive how he's been driving all his career. You know, flashbacks to Brazil 21 where he forced Hamilton 4 miles off the track and they both went so far off the track and he can just brake as late as he wants. And as long as the driver on the outside takes avoiding action to make sure he doesn't crash into them, then they're never going to get past him.
Yeah, he's sweet, yeah. But I think Max has obviously read the rule books and is like writing down all these loopholes or, finding a lawyer somewhere to write down all these loopholes and be like, right, I can get away with this and not get a penalty. And if I did get a penalty for it, then I can kind of reference the rule book and be like, well, actually, in the rules it says this. So actually that's not allowed. But I just think, it's unfair. And also the stewards, obviously, they have a job to do and they need to make these decisions. But they took so long to make the decision that it was by kind of like 1 lap left, it was said. So Lando didn't have the time. Obviously...
Well, in hindsight, he should have given the place back and tried again.
Yeah, of course. But McLaren was certain that Lando didn't do anything wrong.
Well, he said, I think I was ahead of the apex, let me know. And they were like, yeah, we think so too.
Yeah.
And that's why they didn't give it back.
Yeah. But McLaren are being slightly criticised for that because
Well, it's another mistake by McLaren, isn't it?
Yeah, because if they disagreed with Lando, they should have told him there and then he could have fought Max again, let Max in ahead and then fought him again and won that place back. Who knows? But it's just a shame because obviously Lando finished behind Max in the sprint and finished behind Max in the race.
Yeah.
And once again, the gap's kind of slowly getting bigger
Well,
and not decreasing.
Now.
Yeah, like I think the writing's kind of on the wall now.
That's it now. Like, I think this weekend's both given Max the edge of points that he needs and probably given the psychological advantage for the rest of the season.
But then again, Austin's not a great track for McLaren apparently, or this McLaren.
Well, clearly, according to Sergio Perez and his performance, it wasn't a great track for Red Bull either.
I know. Well, do you know what's actually really bugging me? The fact that they got rid of Daniel Ricciardo because he was... I'm pretty sure him and Yuki were relatively even. Well, I know Yuki had more points than Daniel, but like... There wasn't any significant improvements.
Relatively even in performance.
Exactly. There wasn't, like, Tsunoda wasn't really outperforming Daniel Ricciardo significantly enough.
No.
But then you've got Sergio Perez, who's still in that Red Bull seat.
He's also a senior driver, like Ricciardo.
Exactly. And he's still in that Red Bull seat.
Yeah.
He's still in there.
Well, there was one thing that kind of gave away as to why he's still in that Red Bull seat this weekend. Massive Disney Plus logo on his helmet.
Oh, wow. Yep, that'll do it.
We were mentioning before that he's obviously got his documentary or a series coming out on Disney for the Mexican audience.
Yeah.
So that and the Mexican Grand Prix coming up, like commercially, everyone kind of needs him in that car. And it's cash in it. It's cash is king. Like, that's it. Like that's the reason.
Yeah. It's just a shame that kind of some F1 drivers... Yeah, I don't know. It's because of money rather than because of performance. Because obviously Daniel Ricciardo, although he wasn't performing well, why should he lose his seat and Sergio Perez keep his seat? And when there's a significant difference between Sergio Perez's performance and Max Verstappen's performance in that Red Bull.
Yeah, and you need to put it into perspective. George Russell started in the pit lane and finished ahead of him.
Yep.
He finished 6th.
Yep.
And Perez finished 7th.
And he had a 5-second time penalty in the pits.
And George had a penalty. Like, all credit to George, obviously.
Yeah.
But we know George is solid.
Definitely. But I also don't think the Mercedes was that good this weekend either.
No.
Obviously, Lewis, DNF.
That's something we need to talk about.
Yeah.
Lewis Hamilton, what the hell? That is so unlike him.
Same place that George crashed out in qualifying.
He doesn't make those mistakes.
No.
And
also following on from last year's Austin Grand Prix where he got disqualified for his flaw.
Yeah.
Him and Charles got disqualified last Austin race. This Austin race, also not a good one for him. Because he didn't qualify very well either. He qualified I can't remember. But
yeah, not well.
I can't remember whether it was P.
Because he offered George's upgrades.
Yeah, he did. George was like, no. But yeah, also, you make a very good point there. Obviously, Sergio Perez finished behind George. Red Bull had upgrades this weekend, and George had the old spec on his car, and he still finished ahead of Sergio Perez. It's just...
Yeah, there's not much else to say, really, is there?
No.
Let's see what happens after Mexico.
Yeah. Well, talking about the Red Bull family, Liam Lawson finished P9, got 2 points for the team. Obviously, good decision from RB.
Yeah, but we knew he deserved a seat.
Yeah. I predicted he'd finish P14. You predicted he'd finish P13. We got proved wrong. He definitely... Yeah, I agree, he definitely deserved the seat. Obviously, shame Daniel Ricciardo's gone. But... yeah, Liam Lawson, great addition to F1.
What didn't I say last time? Maybe if he does well, maybe he deserves that Red Bull seat next year.
Well, yeah.
Like, that would suck for Yuki Tsunoda, but...
yeah.
That's...
Well, what? Liam Lawson finished 2 places behind Sergio Perez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
But Yuki Tsunoda finished, what, P14 or 15 or something in that RB? So he was obviously outdone by Liam.
And another good decision from Williams, Colapinto.
Definitely.
But what are they going to do now? Because he keeps whacking in these good performances.
Oh, yeah, he's not got a seat, has he?
And what if he somehow catches up with Albon in points?
That would be...
What do they do?
Crazy. That would actually be crazy.
I think Albon deserves to drive because I think he's a good driver.
Definitely. It was his 100th Grand Prix this weekend.
Yeah.
He didn't have a good weekend.
No, it wasn't his best.
This is kind of like the first time in the Williams that he's kind of been put under pressure from his teammate because he had Nick De Vries. No, Nick De Vries was in the...
It wasn't Nick De Vries, it was Nicholas Latifi.
Nicholas Latifi?
Was he in the car when Albon was in the car? I'm trying to think.
He
was in the car in 21.
Logan Sargent.
Yeah, Logan Sargent. It might just be Logan Sargent.
Yeah, Logan Sargent and yeah. Is it just Logan Sargent who was teammates with?
Yeah.
Am I forgetting someone here?
Well, George Russell gave Albon his seat.
Did he?
And George Russell started in the car in 22.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe...
So I think it was Latifi.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
I think it was.
Okay. We'll go with
Sargent had a year and a half. So 23 and a little bit at 24.
Okay.
So I think he had Latifi and Sargent.
Okay.
Which...
I do still have a feeling we're missing someone, but I'm not sure. Okay. Anyway. Not important. But yeah, Colapinto, don't really know what's going to happen with
Yeah,
them.
we've got Albon and Sainz in next year. And Colapinto, if he does well, then Williams are a bit of a tricky situation to figure out.
Yeah. He did have the fastest lap this weekend, but that got stolen by Esteban Ocon because even though Esteban Ocon finished in like P17 or something, Alpine and Williams are kind of in the fight for the constructors. So they just stole the extra point away from Colapinto from getting the fastest lap.
Interesting.
Yeah. Which
That's valid.
Yeah.
At least it's not a case of, Red Bull's second team stole the fastest lap from Lando Norris.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, it's different. Yeah, that's more that's more tactical in like a fair way.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas that's team against team rather than second team against first team's rival.
Who should be a completely separate entity.
Yep. But yeah, that's shame Colapinto lost that point, but he's obviously like proving himself massively, and yeah, he should be in that Sauber. But I was thinking actually, has Liam Lawson been signed for RB next season?
Yeah, he must have.
Yeah. Because obviously he's replaced Daniel for the rest of this season, but I can't.
Oh, well, probably not, but like it's probably
It's a given. Yeah.
if he does well.
I was thinking if it hasn't been, they probably are seeing whether they can replace Perez in the Red Bull before announcing anything.
I swear that second Audi seat is still free.
Yeah.
There could be a lot of drivers up for that.
Yeah. That's Sauber, isn't it?
Yeah, Sauber.
Running into
Yeah.
Audi. I think Colapinto will be there.
You think?
Yeah. He's got to be. It's the last seat on the grid, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is.
He's like clearly proving himself. He said in his interview after, he was like, "What a waste of tyres for Ocon stealing his fastest lap, because they obviously changed him to softs to do the fastest lap." And he's like, "God, they were just wasting tyres. What a waste!"
Yeah, it wasn't a waste of tyres.
Wasting the environment. Yeah, I know.
Oh.
It wasn't. It was worth it to Alpine, wasn't it?
If it was like for the sake of it, then that would have been.
Yeah, it would have.
Waste.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah,
Yeah. Talking about Constructors' Championship, Ferrari are in the mix for
They are.
winning the Constructors because they're only 8 points behind Red Bull now.
well, Leclerc's still in the mix for the drivers somehow.
Yeah, true. That would be a massive turn of events if he somehow managed to.
Well, all it'll take is for Lando, like I said, to play the game,
Yeah.
play Max's game. And Max crashes into him, or they crash into each other.
Yeah. Through goes
And he
Leclerc.
doesn't back out. Leclerc suddenly
Yeah.
has a 25, 26 point swing on both of them.
That's so true. Yeah, that's so true. I don't know how many points behind he is.
Not that far behind Lando.
Really? Okay. That would be very interesting.
He's probably like 90 points behind Max.
That would I would probably
not
say
less.
that would make this season better than 2012.
Could you imagine if Charles won? That I think I'd be happy with that.
Yeah, me too.
That would be such an epic conclusion to the season.
Yeah, me too.
It'd be so cool.
Yeah. Maybe we're putting it out there in the universe.
All right. Bold prediction time.
Okay.
Charles Leclerc is going to win the Drivers' Championship.
Wow.
Champion of the world.
2024. That would be incredible. Let's see it happen.
Yeah.
Even though I'm a Lando fan, but that's okay.
Clip it.
All right. It's been said now.
Yeah.
He better pull through. But he has won, 3 races this season?
3.
So he's like, obviously, how many has Lando won?
3, I think.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
And also, Charles knows how to race Max.
Yeah,
He's
true.
the cleverest with Max. Even more so than Lewis.
Yeah. He pushed me off.
Charles, what happened?
Nothing, just an incident.
On the race.
Iconic.
Yeah. Right. We digress.
Yep.
Shall we move on to reviewing our predictions?
Okie dokie.
Okay, so start with the sprint.
Okay, sprint. I said Max would come in P3. Wrong. George would come in P2. Wrong. Lando would win. Wrong. Yeah. If you flipped that the other way, would have got 2 right. Never mind.
Well, I said Russell in P3.
Okay, wrong.
Right. Doesn't it?
No, Lando came P3.
Lando came P3. Russell
I think
came.
Russell went down to like P5 or something. He qualified
Started
P2.
in P2,
yeah.
yeah. Verstappen in P2. Piastri in P1.
Yeah, where was he? Where was
Where was
he?
this weekend?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh dear. Well, let's move swiftly on from that
Yeah,
then.
let's do that.
Qualifying for the race.
Okay, I said Charles would qualify P3. He qualified P4, so not quite. Oscar P2. I actually can't remember where he qualified. I feel like I didn't really see Oscar this weekend. Do you know what I
It's
mean?
like P5, I think.
Yeah, and then Lando pole position, which I got correct.
You did.
Well done, me.
Well, I said Verstappen P3.
No, P2.
P2, yeah. Norris P2. Mm-hmm. It's P1. And Leclerc P1. He was P3 or 4.
4. Yeah, because he went from 4th to 1st. in the
Who
race.
was P3? Is it
Carlos.
Carlos. Carlos.
Carlos Sainz.
Huh.
Yep.
They were really close together all weekend. Even in the sprint, they were just like...
I think they're so matched in their capabilities. I think I actually am quite...
They've got different strengths.
They do. But I'm also quite slightly disappointed he's going to Williams.
Yeah.
I just hope Williams can give him the car that he deserves. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Well, he's won one race this season, hasn't he?
Yep.
Australia.
Yep. Okay, race. I said P3, Lewis. Nope. P2, Charles.
Nope.
P1, Lando.
No.
I had such high hopes for Lando this weekend, but yeah, that didn't really work.
Yes. God, it must be so stressful being a Lando fan.
It's just it is, especially when he's against Max, because the aggression is just... Yeah, it's hard.
So I've got P3, Piastri. No. P2, Leclerc. No. P1, Lando Norris. No.
Also had high hopes for Lando. It's just because he needs to do it. He needs to do it. He needs to be winning these races to be world champion.
I know.
So, yeah, never mind.
But no, Ferrari won too.
Yeah.
Another Italian national anthem.
Oh, yeah. We love to hear it.
We love to hear it.
My driver of the day was Lando Norris, but I would say my driver of the day was Charles, obviously.
I said Leclerc, I think, as driver of the day.
Did you?
I think I did, yeah.
Okay. I would say Charles. Charles is my driver of the day, but also want to give a special mention to George Russell.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I always hate when they give driver of the day to someone that qualifies badly and then makes their way through the field in a good car.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you should have qualified well in the first place.
True. But George didn't qualify badly. He got into a Q3. He just span out and crashed out.
But then that's his own mistake. So.
Yeah, that is his own mistake. Yeah, of course. Yeah, but he obviously started from the pit lane because he had to go back to the old spec.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know what you mean. But still.
It's like when they always used to praise Perez. And it's like, yes, but he qualified P13.
Yeah, true. But George still beat Perez. Who...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, which is an achievement in itself.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he is a Red Bull.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so your driver of the day was Charles, and you agree with that?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, nice.
He smashed it.
He did, definitely. So, yeah, the start just sold it for me. The instant driver of the day.
And winning by like...
Yeah.
How many seconds did he win by?
Don't know. But he just kept it in solid front.
Yeah,
comfortable. And apparently he was coasting as well at some point. So he obviously hit a lift and coast, and he still managed to stay out front.
Bold predickies?
Ugh. My first bold prediction was Max Verstappen to DNF either the sprint or the race. That did not happen.
No.
Lewis
Hamilton, on the other hand.
Yeah, Lewis Hamilton. Yeah, one of them. One of the big driver champions.
Champions.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, my first one, I think, was true.
What was that?
There will be an incident on turn 1, lap 1, forcing multiple drivers off the track. And is it Ocon that spun?
I feel like it was Alex.
I think it was Alex that spun Ocon.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I would say that's true. I'll give you that one.
Yeah.
It's always like that corner in turn 1 is just chaotic, and it's easy to kind of push drivers off the track there.
Yeah. As
we all know now. My second one was the top 5 finishers of the race will be from different teams.
No.
Not correct.
You're wrong on the first 2.
Yeah. Well,
Ferrari, Red Bull, McLaren. McLaren.
Yep.
Okay.
So I was wrong.
And then my second one was there'll be a slow pit stop from Red Bull.
Nope.
No.
Didn't see that.
No. That's why I didn't have Max in top 3.
Yeah. There was a slow pit stop for Aston Martin, who we haven't even mentioned because they had a terrible race as well.
Alonso had the worst race.
Not good.
All I ever saw him was getting overtaken.
Yeah. Not good. I think they're trying to hold on to P5 in the championship, but they kind of got a nice solid gap between the others, so...
Yeah. Well, maybe Adrian Newey will sort them out.
Yeah.
'Cause that was dreadful.
Yeah, maybe. My third one was, whoever qualifies provisional pole will get their lap time deleted. This did not happen, but there was a lot of lap times getting deleted during qualifying because of track limits. And this one's an easy one to get track limits on because the corners, obviously, there's a lot of runoff area with no gravel traps.
Yeah.
Well, there are some gravel traps, but a lot of them don't have gravel traps. So it's easy to kind of track limit issues. But no, the provisional pole didn't happen, no.
So I said something a bit different this time.
Mm-hmm.
You'll have to let me know. There'll be a new Martin Brundle grid walk meme moment.
Well,
So I didn't watch the grid walk.
I also did not because our mum was watching Strictly Come Dancing. So I couldn't tell you, but I feel like I would have seen it.
You would have seen the memes.
Yeah, I would have seen it. It would have been on my TikTok or Twitter or something like that. But I didn't. But if anyone did see one, please let us know because I cannot help that Strictly was on the TV.
Well, yeah, I blame F1 for putting it at the same time as Strictly.
Yeah,
Like, how
exactly.
could they?
What do you expect's going to happen? Do you know what I mean?
I have a good excuse. I was at a festival in Las Vegas. So,
Yeah, I mean,
you know,
yeah.
could have asked them to put it on the big screens, but
Gosh, so selfish of them.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
You should put it on the background or something. Anyway.
Anyway, we've got another race to look forward to this weekend. Mexico.
Yep.
Yep.
Sergio Perez's home race.
I wonder, his last home race, Red Bull maybe?
Maybe.
Interesting.
Maybe he knows. Maybe he'll be aware that that is a possibility.
Maybe. But yeah, Mexico's a cool track. It was cool, like the big grandstands towards the end of the lap.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
It's a good race.
But yeah, not really much else to say about this one. I think all has been covered.
Oh, yeah.
So let's hope for a good fight over in Mexico. And Charles is in the fight now.
Yeah, Charles is going to win for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
That would be still
so good.
Honestly, greatest season of all time.
Yeah. Anyway, without further ado,
we'll call it a day. All right.
So, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Leave us a comment. Get engaged. But until next time, we will catch you next week for the build up to the Mexican Grand Prix.
See ya.